Hello, 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 and welcome back to some Dawnbringer Tarot today, again with your host Carmilla. So, we have our week ahead reading per usual, and I think that I'm going to change the name to Weekly Energetic Attunement or something like that, because even though I call it a week ahead, this energy is like coming into your life, and it has already been in your life. It's in your past, present, and future. It's all existing around you simultaneously. It's all dependent upon what you're calling in and aligning with this week. So I want to change the language a little bit around that. I don't know why I explained that, but moving on, we have our reading. So I'm happy to be here today, and offering these channeled messages. So we'll get into our collective message first, and then our general readings right after that. So if you do want to skip the collective message, I can go ahead and show you the piles. I feel like I want to start doing that first. So for group number one, we have our Bloodstone, which is a really cool one. For group number two, we have the Red Jasper. We have the Red Jasper. For group number three, we have the Flower Agate. And then for group number four, we have the African Turquoise. So with that, if you want to go ahead and skip the collective reading and find your timestamp down in the description box, you can go ahead and do that. So for all of us who have stayed for the collective reading, I want to go ahead and deliver that message. So our collective reading is over fear this week. The energy that we're tuning to is connecting to our deepest nature in order to transcend fear or dissolve fear into fuel, or use fear in a healthy way. What Spirit is trying to guide us to is the understanding that the things that we want, or the things that we believe we desire in the linear, are just simple desires. They're things that we would find pleasant. And it's beautiful that we have these desires, because what you do is, when you have these desires, you not only call them in for yourself, but you call them in for everybody else. And what happens when you have a desire is you reach really, really, really deep within yourself to reach really, really, really high outside of yourself. So what you're doing is bridging a gap. You're bridging a polarity. That is why it is extremely and increasingly important that we take note of our fears and we actually work through our fears, besides trying to find ways to work around, over, or under them. The beautiful thing about fear is something that I will always say. There are no such things as blockages. There's nothing clogging your chakras. There are no blockages. There are nothing like that. There are portals. They are gateways. There are things in which you walk through in order to receive and experience what it is like to be on the other side of this thing. Now, it's hard to say that because we have so much tragedy, so much horror going on in our world, and we have so many strong, intense sensations and experiences in our human, in our linear, finite forms, that is extremely easy to forget that we are all an aspect of spirit, no matter what you're experiencing, no matter your choices, no matter what you're doing. It is extremely easy to forget that we are actually souls having a human experience in order to grow ourselves, in order to gain wisdom, in order to season our own souls, in order to become our full selves and return to the true sense of home. So what we're doing is tapping into our divine nature. We're also tapping into our divine nature of the creatrix. And when I say creatrix, I'm talking about our ability to create without, our ability to summon in, receive, call in. And the reason why I say that is because we actually have the otter in reverse for our power animal for this week, our collective message, which a lot of times the otter can speak on family, connections, playfulness, but the otter in this reading today is talking about divine femininity. It is extremely, extremely important to understand, free of gender, free of orientation, free of any of those human labels, all these things that we, use to express ourselves, free of all of those layers. The divine feminine is simply the womb of creation, that which everything is birth. That is it, and we hold that magic within our own selves. It's called our imagination. It's called our highest visioning. It's called our dreams. You know what I'm saying? So the beauty of bridging this polarity and harmonizing the divine masculine, which is the energy to do, which is how we physically produce our world, and paired with the beauty of the divine feminine, which is how we call in our creations and the things that we want to actually produce in the world. It's a magical thing to harmonize those two energies, and that is what's happening. Now, this isn't new to us. This is something that humans have always done, and we're constantly always doing. What we are doing is removing the layers and layers and layers of fear and inadequacy from this process. You understand what I'm saying? What we are doing is removing the layers of conditioning, of inadequacy consciousness, of lack consciousness from this natural process of being a human being, of bridging the polarity, coming into union as oneself, as both divine feminine, divine masculine, operating from one vessel, besides being so enamored or even infatuated with this idea that you have to find that somewhere outside of yourself. It is to be understood that everyone around you is going to amplify these experiences for you and contribute to these experiences for you, no matter if that is positive or negative. It's to be understood that right now what we're doing is harmonizing. So again, it is extremely important that we work through our fears, we work through them, we understand them, we accept them, and we continue to work through, so that we continue this harmonizing process, and we continue to shed layers and layers and layers of the fears and conditioning, and we dissolve our ego into trueness, into power, into absolute power, into oneness. Again, I want to mention that the ego is just something that we use to identify what is pleasant and what is unpleasant. And also our ego has also been corrupted or even bound or restrained by conditioning, by societal conditioning. And your ego wants so badly to fit in, to be a part of. So that is the reason why the ego tries to isolate itself and make itself seems like it is grander than or lesser than, because it wants to isolate itself, because it wants to see itself as part of the whole. But before it sees itself as such, it wants to know who or what it is. So that is what we're experiencing, on top of all these other layers of things that we are doing as human beings. So the cards that we have today, I want to show you a little bit more. With Whispers of the Ocean, we have Facing Your Fears, of course. Look for ways to strengthen your connection to the universe and others. Stay peaceful and calm in the knowing of who you are. So that's our Whispers of the Ocean. Our Unicorn Oracles today, we have Nature. With Ground Yourself, find a sanctuary in nature, connect with the elementals. The moon is in Taurus, so it's a great time to go out and just stick your bare feet in the grass. It really is. Our Cosmic Dancers, of course, we have Surrender and Trust. Absolutely. And then we will be using the Voyager Tarot deck today, which, of course, the overall frequency that we are working with is fear, with the Seven of Cups. So, really interesting collective message. I'm super excited to see how this energy plays out in the collective, and just in media and what we're doing, and in everyday lives like my own. So really, really excited. So we have our 4 piles, which I've already shown you. So go ahead and do whatever witchy thing you need to do in order to get into the mood for your reading. And I, my friend, will see you there. Group 1, hello. For all of our friends who chose the Bloodstone, this will be your reading for today. So, oracle cards aside, let's get into your power animal of the week. So you have mouse, which is really interesting. I wasn't expecting mouse this week, but I don't know what I ever expect, so. With your energetic resonance, group 1, your problems are a lot smaller than you think. You have a tendency to blow your problems up, inflate them, blow them out of proportion, because you want them to seem larger than you, so that you have the ability to feel into your powerlessness and how powerless you are over the world, which to a certain extent is true. We are co-creating as a collective, and it's all based on what we're doing and what we need for collective evolution as one whole, as one entire, ecosystem. Um, but it seems like you have a tendency to blow your um, issues out of proportion, just because you there are two things happening. Like, you're tired of transitioning and changing. You're tired of things seeming like they never settle down. Um, but also, there's this energy here of you not wanting to settle down until you receive what it is that you want to receive. And it seems like the best thing that you can do here really is to take care. Take care of yourself, and not see your issue like release this need to be powerless, because to a certain extent you are powerless, and this is to respect that which you cannot control, and to respect that there is a placement in your life, that there's a way that spirit works in your life, that spirit can do for you what you cannot do for yourself, with the understanding that at the end of the day, you are spirit operating at that level to a certain degree. But consciously, you don't know that. Consciously, that's something that's tricky and hard to embody, because you would say, why am I attracting or, creating hardship for myself, challenges for myself? Why am I blowing things out of proportion and things like that? But it's all part of your learning and growing process. So it truly seems like the issues that you have are actually a lot smaller than you. It's like you take this energy of mouse and all these little small details and all these little things, and you overanalyze and you overthink, and then they become this really, really large monster. And you become almost the prey or the victim to your problems. Which makes sense. Problems, sometimes challenges, they're very difficult to navigate. But I feel truly like there's an easier way for you to navigate that. And I want to read some tarot and see more about what that easier way is. I just feel like there's an easier way. And I feel like the one word I can tell you is just to relax. Breathe into what you can't control, and actually accept the fact that you can't control everything. Accept the fact that it's not all your responsibility, because it's important to note that when you feel as though you need to control everything, that also means that you're placing the weight of the world on your shoulders. That also means that you are taking personal responsibility for things that, in essence, are part of you, but in truth, as a human being experiencing all of this, it a lot of times has nothing to do with you. You know what I'm saying? It's not your fault. You're just very compassionate, and you're very fiery, and you're very motivated, and you want to make sure that you're making an impact in the world, that you are not just sitting around waiting for the world to change, but that you are making an impact. And I think that it is important for you to note that even you holding that energy is you making an impact. So relax, because everything that you're designed to do in this world, you will do. Everything that you're designed to deliver in this world, you will. Sometimes that may look a little different from what our ego wants to do, which is okay. It is completely okay for it to look different, because as we align with spirit, we release more control. We go into surrender and trust, which was actually our Cosmic Dancer card for this week for the collective reading. So this is you understanding the importance of surrendering and trust as well, because it's just not all on you. It's not all your responsibility. The weight of the world is not on. It's not on your shoulders. It's just the world is just so much larger than you, but the world is a much brighter and beautiful place because you're in it and because you have a desire to make an impact. So it's really important to know that there's a bigger picture. There's always a bigger picture happening outside of your own issues, outside of everything that's going on, and you'll have an easier time navigating those issues if you just trust in yourself a little more and you kind of surrender to what is, besides trying to make them into things that they aren't. You see what I'm saying? Like taking a problem and being like, oh, but it's this, but it's that, trying to like dissect the same things over and over again. I think that the medicine here too is just understanding that sometimes it's just okay to accept what is, besides trying to make them into things that they are not. So we have a lot of cards flipping out, but I feel good about the 3 that we got. And then bottom deck we have the 8 of crystals with synthesize in reverse. And then we have the Hierophant. Yeah, we're using Voyager today. I just now like put that together. We have the Sage of Crystals with Knower. And then we have the Star in reverse. So let me put bottom deck up here as well. So what I'm sensing here too with tarot is that you know way more than you pretend like you know. It's almost like the energy of a mouse going into a trap, and it kind of like sees the trap, but it like really wants the cheese, but it's like, I'll risk it. And this is not you walking into a trap. I don't feel like it's you walking into a trap. What I feel truly is that you already know everything that you need to know. My guides are saying you already know, you have the value. You already know everything of value. Anything that can be of service to you, you already know. It's just like you already know what's going on intuitively. You already know everything you need to know in order to navigate these situations. And that's where that powerlessness is coming in, is when you pretend that you don't know, and you pretend that you don't have the answers, and you pretend that your problems are bigger than you. Then it's like you kind of, they're saying like you crystallize form, or you like, not crystallize form, but you like kind of like almost like halt this, like you halt this process, you halt the process, because what you're doing is becoming more of who you are. I actually feel like you're becoming more of the Hierophant type energy. That's why we have the 8 of crystals with synthesis in reverse, because it feels like when you try to pretend that you don't know, you try to pretend that you don't have all that you need, or pretend that you don't have any value, or pretend that you don't have solutions to your everyday problems. It's almost like it kind of like the factory kind of like shuts down, or like it's just everybody's like, okay, wait, we're not we're not moving forward until we have a better understanding of this. So that's why you have a tendency to shut down and blow your situations out of proportion, because you know a lot. And it's hard to trust it. It's very scary to surrender and trust it, because it actually does feel like it's a lot larger than you. It actually does feel like, wow, can I really do this? It actually does feel like it does feel like it's the weight of the world. And the beautiful thing about this is, if you just trust that your future self will be able to respond accordingly at any given time, plus the fact that with the Hierophant here as well, to reinforce this and confirm this, you have spirit backing you, you have spirit supporting you through this 100% of the way. You are being guided 100% of the way. So it's really important to understand that this isn't all about you. This is also spirit working through you. And the process that you're undergoing is allowing more of spirit to work through you, allowing more of spirit's energy to flow through you. Spirit just being the collective needs, the collective call, the collective pull of humanity in our collective, not only even as an earth, but as a universe, as as existence, as substance. Um, so it's really, really important for you to understand your power, your star power. They keep saying, understand your star power, understand your star power. The only reason the star is in reverse is because this is you, and this is you denying your own self. This is you denying your own knowing. This is why we have the knower here, because the knower is saying, you know everything that you need to know. You have all the answers. And it's like you use your linear life to kind of like distract you, like, oh, but I have to figure this out. Oh, but what about this thing? What about this thing? You use that as a distraction to actually shut down this synthesizing process that you're undergoing, because it does feel very out of this world. It does feel very, can I trust this? It feels very scary. And I feel like that is the fear that you are actually actively working through right now, is the fear of this synthesis, or this process that you're undergoing, this transition, this unraveling, this transition into higher awareness, this transition into your new self and your new knowing, in the way in which spirit is asking you to show up in the world. I feel like that is kind of probably the scariest thing for you. So it's really time to kind of like open up. I feel like your chest cavity, almost like your G center, like your Christ center, kind of like opening up. And it almost looks like, it, funny enough, it kind of looks like a womb or like a yoni, and it's kind of like opening up, and there's just like a flood of light coming through, like gold white light, just flooding through that center. And that feels like a very, very challenging and scary process, because you're stepping outside of your own and your old self. It's like the star is awakening, the star is born. That is what is happening. And this is a very, a very meaty process for you that is taking every atom in your life. It is taking up a lot of space in your life in order to experience what it is that you're experiencing. So this is really exciting energy, group one. This is really exciting. So just to sum up the reading, right now it just seems like you're blowing a lot of your situations out of proportion because you don't want to trust yourself. You don't want to trust your intuition. You don't want to trust that you already know everything that you're supposed to know. And the best thing that you can do is keep moving forward with the information that you already have, with what is already provided to you. Besides pretending that you need more information, pretending that you need more time. You don't. You don't, group one. You have everything that you need, and you know that. Plus, you have spirit backing you 1000% of the way. This is just a star's awakening, is what it is, and you're just undergoing the process and the synthesis of that. The stars awakening. I also love how we have number 20 over here with the mouse, because that to me means that I hear spirit saying you're cooperating, you're cooperating, you're cooperating. So it's just a reminder that you're doing everything that you need to be doing. Really, it's just sometimes you like to shut the factory down, which maybe sometimes the factory does need to be shut down. Maybe it's too overwhelming and you just need to take a break. You need to distance yourself. That is also completely fine. Sometimes you have to kind of take a step back, because this is a lot of energy, and this is a lot of evolution that you're embodying. So please don't feel guilty. And I do apologize if I did make it seem like you're guilty or should feel guilty for stepping away. It is absolutely important that you take a rest. It is actually absolutely important that maybe the factory does shut down, or maybe if you allow the factory to keep going and you just trust that it is running itself in the background, besides trying to purposely shut it down because of the fear. If that also makes sense. But it's also okay to remember that it's like your focus in your actual conscious awareness does not have to be placed here all the time, because it's, again, this is something that is taking every atom of your life. It is everything in your life is working in order to get you to where you're going. So it's really important for you to know that and understand that. I will also say too, if you feel any stress, connect with your guides, particularly your ancestors. I just feel like your ancestors have stories for you. They have higher knowing for you. They just have a lot to offer you, a lot of guidance to offer you, just because of their own experiences in this world and what they had to do in order to reach their higher knowing and how they reach their higher knowing. I just feel like they have ancient wisdom and different ways of channeling and connecting that will help you through this process a lot. So definitely call on your ancestors or any type of entities you feel particularly drawn or connected to. So, yeah, let's get into your oracle cards for this week. So, you have, with your cosmic dancers, we have Flow with Divine Timing. Of course, makes absolute total sense. Which is funny because this card came out last time. Again, that's what I'm saying too. You're being guided, so you're fine. You're really fine. But what you're doing is experiencing this star awakening, and you're trying to procrastinate and distract away from that. When really, the truth is, it's all happening. And I feel like to flow with divine timing is just also another way to remember that what you're doing is safe, and it's actually safe for you to feel confident in what you're doing. It's safe for you to surrender and trust. It is absolutely safe for you to surrender and trust. So we also have our unicorn oracle. We have rebirth. Yep. Reinvent yourself, give life to your dreams, create a new reality. Because that is exactly what you're doing, group one. That's exactly what you're doing is a star awakening. You're birthing. And then we also have our whispers of the ocean for this week. Persistent drive with number 11. And then we have 29 over here too, which is also 11. Or reduces to 11. So really interesting. See what you desire and move toward that goal. It is time to zero in on your purpose. Use your intuition and instincts to guide you for the optimal outcome. Exactly. So we also have this pairing you see here with persistent drive and flow with divine timing. Like remember, listen to your intuition, even if it's scary, even if it's like, oh crap, I don't want to do this is terrifying. Check in with your fear. Is your fear getting in the way of something you actually want to do, or is your fear keeping you safe? Those are two different things. There's a precautionary element or a cautionary element to fear, and there's also a gateway element to fear. Sometimes fear is a gateway that you must walk through, but sometimes fear is a gut instinct that's saying, you know what, I need to make the safe decision here. So always make sure you analyze what type of fear you're actually working with, because that can help you better navigate some of your distractions in your procrastination as well. So beautiful reading, group one. I really hope this resonated. These are some beautiful cards, beautiful reading. So I'm really hoping that this energy finds you and it attunes to you this week, so you can really tap into what it is that's asking or calling out for you. So if it did not resonate, that is okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to absolutely anything that is not yours. So thank you for hanging out with me today. I do hope you enjoyed my energy and my vibe. And I, my friend, will see you next time. Bye-bye. Hello, group two. For all of our friends who chose the red Jasper, this will be your weekly reading. So oracle cards aside, and we have our power animal. Oh, we have turkey. So interesting. So I haven't seen turkey in a while. Let's see what message turkey has for you this week. Okay. So it's funny because it's on the tail end of group one. So I'm getting the message of persistent drive, which is a card basically saying like zero in on your goals and use your instinct and your intuition to move toward the desired outcome. And I also feel, which is so funny, so funny because we're talking a lot about fear today as well. I also feel and fear here that there is a need of acceptance for your own gifts. So you like to compare, sorry about that, group two. The TV was really loud. So you like to compare, you have a tendency to compare your gifts or your talents or whatever it is, your skills, whatever it is, to other people's, and you have this tendency to not be grateful for what you already have or what you already given. It's important to note here that a turkey does not pretend to be a chicken. You know, if you see a turkey on a table and a chicken on the table, you'll know the difference between a turkey and a chicken, and they both offer different flavors, different textures, different things, but they're both going to get the job done. If you want to eat something and you want to be full, if you eat enough of it, you will be full. You know what I'm saying? So it's really the understanding that you just have to have more respect. It's a respect thing, and respect keeps coming up over and over for readings like this, and it's probably because it's me. But you just have to respect, you have to have more respect for what you're doing, your own abilities, and what you have to offer group two. I feel like it is extremely integral to your growth, to the process that you're in, for you to respect, have respect for who you are as a person and what you're offering. It doesn't matter if you're a hairstylist, makeup artist, if you are a doctor, if you are an Instagram influencer, if you're a musician, if it does not matter what you're doing in this world. It is extremely important for you to have enough self-worth and enough love of self to respect the way in which you're being asked to show up in the world, in a way in which spirit being your deepest divine essence, wants to work through you. Respect, 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 respect. When you respect it, you're grateful for it. You're not resentful of it, or you're not, I would be better if I was more like this person. You put so much weight in other people's, you know, the check boxes that they mark off, that you forget to check in with your own, and you forget to check in with what you naturally offer. It is extremely, 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 extremely important, group two, for you to get real about what it is that you offer and respect it, because you offer a lot. You offer a lot to the world. You offer a lot to the people around you. You're super, super rich and wise, and you're just like, the flavor of you is like a exotic or like exquisite like dark chocolate or something like that. Like, it's just like a very it's like a very special taste. I almost want to say an acquired taste, but it's not even like an acquired taste. But it does feel like there's just like a lot of boundaries to get to you. Not walls, but boundaries. It's just like, that's how sacred and that's how protective your protected your energy is, and that's how rich, like, what you're offering is so incredibly rich. And that is why, like, if you're at a point in your life where you're trying to complete a transition, close something off or something like that, spirit is not going to allow you to do that until you are properly positioned in unconditional love of self and respect. It's the respect thing that you're resisting the most, because respect takes a lot of vulnerability. It also takes a lot of forgiveness, and it also takes a lot of acceptance of self, accepting everything that you've experienced, accepting all the choices that you've made, whether you consider them to be right or wrong, because again, you're a human being, you're a dual creature. um, it's like coming into wholeness cannot complete until you really, really understand what it means to have respect, to be thankful for, to be grateful of your own self and your own abilities and the way spirit wants to operate through you. I feel like that is so incredibly important for you to hear. Be thankful for and grateful of the way in which the divine, wants to express itself through you, which is a very, very beautiful thing. You're just so incredibly rich and decadent. It's just like everything you offer is just like an explosion of life on the palette. Like, it is very, very beautiful. And I just keep going back to the word rich. It's extremely rich. it's definitely like you're a delicacy, and it's really, really important for you to understand that, group two. You're a delicacy. You know, what you have to offer, no one else on this planet can offer. And it's also to be understood that this is what you signed up for in this lifetime. That's not to say that you're the only one. There's not to say that everybody doesn't have this thing. Everyone will come to this same point of awakening in which you are. Everyone will come to the same point of their awakening and realize how rich and how decadent they are. Every single human being. You are just at that point because it's time for you to open up so that you can show that to the world, so that you can model that for other people who are also ready to embody that frequency. You see what I'm saying? Because you're embodying abundance consciousness fully, wholly, not halfway, not 50% of the way, not 60%, not 99.99% of the way, 1,000% of the way, 100% of the way. And it's just extremely, increasingly important for you to look in your own eyes and respect who you are, respect every bit of you, and respect where you're going, respect where you have been, and respect where you are. This is your message is all about respect and being thankful, being grateful for who you are and the way in which you show up in your own life, in the way in which you show up in other people's lives. You have this like almost like fake addiction. It's not fake, but it's like this weird addiction to like modesty, or like, I have to be the humble one. I have to be the one who doesn't take themselves too seriously. And I think the beauty is that you can do both these things at the same time. Truly, you can do both these things at the same time. So we have the Ace of Cups with ecstasy in reverse. Alright, and then we also have confusion with the Six of Crystals. That makes total sense to me, and it's so funny how the color scheme is the same with the turkey. We have the Moon, of course. And then we also have strength. We have strength in reverse. So to me, the tarot is saying that like you're literally, there's like a lot of confusion that you're experiencing in your life, or like you also are causing because of your fear to actually honor the cycles of your life and respect divine timing, respect divine flow, respect the beautiful concoction of growth that is currently your life. It's just about respect on top, all across the board. I feel like the reason why the Ace of Cups is the overall frequency, or ecstasy is the overall frequency, is because that's what you're embodying. But Spirit is saying you cannot embody true ecstasy if you don't embody your own self, if you don't trust your own body, if you're not within your own body. And for some reason on this card, so funny, the Hangman right into that, there's this butterfly here that's like jumping out at me, and I just feel like this butterfly is just saying, like, you know, you're just transforming, you're elevating, you are showing your way shore, you're creating a way, you're undergoing this metamorphosis, going from one relationship to the world and yourself to another. And it's important that you respect what is happening for you. I feel like honestly the reason why strength is in reverse is because this doesn't take strength from you. What you're bringing into your life isn't strength. You already have strength. You've mastered strength. And you think that in order for you to get to where you're going, you have to use brute force, or you have to white knuckle, or you have to be like, you have to embody or master more of the divine masculine paradigm. But that's just simply not the case. You have mastered the divine masculine paradigm, and the Moon is here to say that it's time for you to respect your ability to receive, and it's time for you to respect your own self. I saw a picture the other day where it said, I forgot exactly the words, but it was something like life is too short for you to live your life hating your body and things like that. This is that. This is that. Like, you know, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth hating your body, hating yourself, not respecting yourself, not respecting your boundaries, trying to keep people, places, and things in your life that just don't respect you, or that don't bring you joy or growth in some sense of the way, or if you just feel like there's a misalignment, trying to keep those things in your life is just simply not worth it. So it's really time to face your fears in that way and kind of just move through the energy and respect yourself. It is safe for you to have respect for yourself. It is safe for you to say no. It is safe for you to say, I don't want to do this. It is safe for you to trust your intuition, and it's also safe for you to respect yourself and to respect the cycles that you're undergoing. And I feel like, honestly, that is where the confusion lies, is where you like don't fully understand, like it's like you don't fully grasp the concept of the process that you're undergoing, because you have this thing to where spirituality is always talking about, oh, you have to have compassion for other people and XYZ, which is true. It is very important that we have compassion for other people, but where you're falling short is you're forgetting that compassion for other people starts with you. You are also people. You are also a person. And you can easily pour from overflow when you start with you first and give out. When you start from you first and you allow the overflow of love that you have for yourself to wash over everybody else. You see what I'm saying? The love for yourself to wash over everybody else. We've mastered this weird, modest thing, this self-sacrificing thing, which is why the hangman is under the Ace of Cups. We've mastered the self-sacrificing. We've mastered martyrdom. We've mastered being martyrs, which is the turkey. It will tell you all about being a martyr, okay? We've mastered that. We understand that. But now we're moving into a new essence, a new frequency, and this frequency is saying to exist from within and allow the world outside of you to be created with the energy that you're producing within, to become your own well-oiled machine and attract to you all that you need, which truly, in essence, we have all been doing that. It's just, unfortunately, our souls needed challenge and adversity and tragedy in order to get to where it's going. And right now, we're just clearing that out. You're really aligning with ecstasy and pleasure, deep healing, deep clearing, deep cleansing in a very beautiful way. But it's just extremely important to understand that it starts with you. It starts with respecting your own abilities, your own creative ideas, and in the way in which you want to show up in the world. And it's so funny because I'm looking at the word turkey, and at the end I'm just seeing the word key, which is really important, you know. Confidence is your key. Respect of yourself is the key. The understanding in this reading is key, is that you are already aligned with ecstasy. So there's nothing more that you have to do in order to cast out the line for that alignment. It's just you need to take the key into your own hands and unlock that door, walk through that fear, and respect your body. Respect your body. Respect your body. Respect your time. Respect your energy. Respect your gifts. Respect the way in which the divine wants to work through you. That's the best thing that I can tell you. I feel like respecting your body is also a huge one here. Your body, your actual physical body, taking care of your physical body in every sense of the word, and knowing that your physical body is worth, and every single human being too, but your physical body is worth being taken care of, which means eating in a way that feels good to you, that feels healthy, you know, exercising, cleanliness and things like that, respecting your body, respecting your space, respecting your time, everything. This is hugely about respect and being grateful for and thankful for who you are and what already exists within you. So, yeah, this is beautiful. So let's get into your oracle cards this week. First, with your cosmic dancers, we have Be Magnetized. This card comes out a lot. Yes, Be Magnetized. Okay, so Spirit is saying to actually read the little excerpt out of the book for Be Magnetized for you, which is funny. I haven't had that in a long time for Cosmic Dancers. So let's see what Spirit wants you to hear in here. Be magnetized. The magnetic desire you feel is divine in nature. Of course, that's, if there's anything that I need to say to you, it's that. The magnetic desire you feel is divine in nature. The energy of attraction toward a path, person, hobby, place, practice, culture, or something else is what propels and perpetuates your growth and expansion. This card asks you to pay close attention to what you are naturally drawn toward and then to move fearlessly in that direction. The magnetism you feel, which may take the form of curiosity, interest, or excitement, is a cosmic message that something beautiful is awaiting your discovery. Even if you don't understand or can't foresee where this compelling force or attraction is leading you, allow yourself to be driven by it and you will experience powerful alignment with your true purpose and path. Is there a relationship, project, undertaking, or endeavor that your heart wants to invest in, but your mind tells you there's some reason why you shouldn't? For example, some people talk themselves out of going back to school by saying they're too old, don't pursue a dream because it's too risky, or avoid yoga because they're not flexible. If you can identify a storyline for yourself, it's great news. It means you now have the ability to step out of the self-sabotaging narrative so you can acknowledge your dream and bring it into form. The benefits of following this magnetic inner guidance are immense. You will begin moving with the different current of your dreams, which will propel you toward your ideal life. You will also burst out of the ruts and begin to transcend long-standing patterns of boredom, stagnation, anxiety, and depression. Be assured that like attracts like. And I'll stop there. Breathe that in, group 2. There is a reason why Spirit wanted me to read that for you. Yes, I honestly would say hit rewind and listen to that a couple of times so that it really, really sinks in. That is the key. Be magnetized. That is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful with this reading. I honestly feel that. Like, you're already aligned with deep ecstasy. You're already aligned with it. It's just like you just have this thing in you where you're afraid to respect it. You're afraid to trust it. And our collective message for this week was surrender and trust from Cosmic Dancers. So it's really, really important to trust that you're aligning. And also from Whispers of the Ocean, we had facing your fear. So it's time to just go ahead and transcend that fear of you receiving and of you respecting yourself, because you have a fear of like people are going to look at you a certain way and blase, 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 blah. You know what I mean? And it's just time to have a little more respect for yourself in that. And then your Unicorn Oracle, you have growth. Of course you have growth. Seek out a mentor or guide. Take baby steps as you grow. Be willing to learn from others. Exactly. Of course you have growth, because growth is exactly what you're experiencing. It's exactly what you're experiencing right now. And then lastly, we have disengage from outcomes. Let go so you can open yourself to the highest love that you deserve. Find ways to release worry or any unresolved lack of forgiveness you might be holding on to. Exactly. So that's what I was talking about earlier. This is one of those things where you just have to really love yourself fully, unconditionally, forgive your past self, and just have a little more acceptance and respect for your own self. And I also love how we have kind of this, we have kind of this like polarity between being magnetized and disengaging from the outcome, because I feel like this is you knowing it feels like you already know what the outcome is. You already know the energy that is unfolding. But now it's time to disengage from the outcome, as in creating negative outcomes or trying to control the narrative of the outcome, as in I have to do this in order to get this, or it's not going to happen this way or that way. Like trying to kind of manipulate it in order to receive it in fear or receive it in lack, which is really interesting. And that's not what you want to do. You don't want to receive in fear or lack. You don't want to receive in confusion. You want to receive in true deep ecstasy. Remember, key, turkey is the key. Key. Being thankful, being grateful, having respect for is your key. And trusting yourself, trusting your own abilities, trusting your own abilities truly. So it's a beautiful, beautiful reading, group 2. I love this. Thank you so much for coming through and hanging out with me today. I really, really hope that it resonated. And if it did not, that is okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. So I really do hope you enjoyed my energy and my vibe today. And group 2, I'll see you next time, friend. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, group 3, for all of our friends who chose the flower agate. This will be your reading for this week. So, oracle cards aside, let's get into it. You have whale. You have whale in reverse, which is really interesting. We're also using whispers of the ocean. So, let's see what whale has for you this week. Um, wow, this is a lot of energy coming through. So, they're they're basically just saying that for some reason I like feel like you are whale, or like you've had like lifetimes of being a whale, but like they're saying that you're the keeper of many many wisdoms, many ancient traditions and techniques and things like that, which is interesting because in another group I brought up the fact how important it was to connect with their ancestors. So you may have been attracted to that reading too, and I feel like I want to bring that up again. It is important for you to know that the beauty and the energy and the wisdom that you hold is so much deeper than this is going to sound it's going to sound far out of reach for your mind, but for your soul it's right there, just so you know. The ancient wisdom, or not even ancient, the wisdom that you're calling in and that you're channeling and that you are offering to the world, even unconsciously, um, it transcends this reality. It's not as though you are trying to mesh it with this reality or make it fit into this reality. The whole purpose of your channeling, the whole purpose of who you are, the whole purpose of your ideas and your opinions are to challenge the current paradigm so that the current paradigm is forced to change. You see what I'm saying? It's you're not working at this level of reality. You're calling in a new one. You're calling in new energy. You're calling upon ancient wisdom and ancient teachings. You are like a bridge between the past, the present, and the future. So it's really important for you to understand that in your doing, like that's what you're doing. Like it's very purposeful for you to have opinions that don't align with this paradigm or this reality, because you are meant to transcend this reality and actually evolve within this reality and allow this reality to evolve with you. And the reason why that is coming through whale is because a whale, they have very, very long lifespans, and it's like they're the sentinels of the sea. They just hold so much information in their body. There's just so much that they can absorb. Um, and it's very, very interesting too, especially having the star there. Like they're like you're following your north node, and that's interesting because that came up in our last reading, and just as a reminder today, they want you to remember. It's important that what you're experiencing is you're experiencing a remembering, you're experiencing an awakening, you're experiencing it to its fullest depth. And a lot of times in ancient teachings and things like that, or ancient readings and texts, they're saying, oh, you have to have these conditions or those conditions in order to ascend, in order to transcend this reality. You have to meditate this many times a week. You have to make this, you have to do that. And it's like you're transcending all of that drama and that dharma almost, and it's like you're captivating this reality by understanding this reality is the whole point of it. This reality that we exist in is the whole point of us transcending. We we are living spiritually. Everything is spirituality. We are evolving through the way in which we currently exist, no matter if you are meditating in the Tibetan mountains or you are a cashier at a dollar store. The whole reality is the point. Um, the whole reality is the point. And there's something else here. The whole reality is the point. And the reality in which we currently exist is not worth maintaining. So I see you doing like little rituals and saying, you know, I release what no longer serves me, but it's this reality that no longer serves, as in this reality has fallen out of alignment with its evolutionary process, which means that it is shedding, it is currently shedding, and that's what we're seeing. And who you are naturally is you are a part of the shedding process. They're saying you're evolutionary, you're evolutionary, you're revolutionary. Like, it's important to understand that for you, Group 3 in particular, that you are designed to change the world. And because you are designed to change the world, there are just a lot of ways in which you're gonna do a lot of disagreeing. That's what they're saying. They're saying you're gonna do a lot of disagreeing. You're gonna do a lot of disagreeing, which makes total sense. Sorry about that, Group 3. I'm always the most random things. But anyway, you are purposely not aligned with this reality. You are purposely transcending this reality. It's the whole point of it all. Really, it's the whole point of it all. So I'm sorry if you hear some noise in the back. I just have some stuff going on outside on the porch. So let's get into some tarot for you. The whole point of this thing for you, Group 3, is to be transcending this reality. So, let's see. Yep. Of course we have death. Of course we have death fly out like that. Of course. And then we have the Emperor in reverse. Sorry about that, Group 3. We had some stuff going on outside. It was just better to just go ahead and pause it. So anyway, let's get back into this. So I'm going to pull another card, but what's interesting, what's coming up is there's these daily messages that I love to read from different channelers, and there's one from, shout out to Shelly Young. She's amazing. She channels Archangel Gabriel. And one of her recent messages was May 14th, and it was talking about the phase of not knowing, and the phase of, you know, if you don't know, the beautiful part about that is you understand that the current answer or the current understanding does not exist within your current realm of understanding, your current realm of knowing. So this is the best time to release and allow yourself to understand that you want more and you're calling in more because you're done with working with these expired energies. And I feel like this is exactly what is happening for your group. That is exactly what is happening for your group. Group 3. So I'm gonna shuffle a little more. So it feels so. The energy feels so. It's probably because I'm so flustered now. Because this last card feels almost erratic, or like in some form of a frenzy, which is really interesting. Okay, there we go. And then bottom deck we have the Empress in reverse. Which makes total sense. Alright, so with tarot, what the tarot is saying is also reinforcing, especially with the divine feminine there in reverse, is reinforcing this understanding that the reason why, if life feels a little stagnant for you right now, if it feels a little challenging, or like, why am I always disagreeing, especially with the Emperor in reverse? You have both the King and the Queen, the coming into union in reverse right here. The reason why it can feel so lifeless or dull is because you're renewing the polarity. You're renewing two extremely hefty energies, the very, very, very tippy top and a very, very deep bottom. It's like you're reaching both of those things at the same time. And there's so much there for you to see, but there's also a lot there that is going unseen. There's also a lot that you're missing. And it's purposeful. You're missing this purposely, because it is currently outside of the realm of your energies. And the only reason it is outside of that realm is because the universe wants you to expand into more. The universe wants you to expand your awareness, your knowing. Why? Because you are transcending the current reality. You are transforming this current paradigm. I 100% guarantee it. That is exactly why we have death out here, because what you're currently undergoing is the death process of deading and releasing yourself from old energy so that you can come into a new. The only reason these two cards are in reverse is because you are currently aligning with your energy. So what you're doing is gaining the momentum, gaining the courage, gaining their energy, learning, understanding, integrating their wisdom. And what you're doing is bringing them into harmony, which is funny because in the reading that I referred to earlier, it was this harmonizing thing that kept coming up for them. And that's exactly what you're doing. And I feel for some reason you feel isolated, almost ostracized. You feel kind of like your life is stagnant and dull because of this feeling, because of this harmony. But I can assure you, it may not feel like it, but I can assure you, guarantee that this is the absolute best place for you to be. This is the absolute best place for you to be, because what you're doing is aligning, facing that north node, facing that north star, and aligning and moving forward. And with this understanding, that should help you break out a little of the monotony of your life, kind of change up your energy. And this is also an energy too of allowing spirit to do for you what you currently cannot do for your own self, which is extremely important for your energy, your energetic field. It's just the understanding that you currently, you're just a well of wisdom. Like literally, it's so funny. And I actually see a well, like an actual water well, with a bucket, and then like stringing a bucket down and then pulling it up, and the bucket is just full of light. That is you. So it's really important for you to not only respect your energy, but also respect the phase that you're undergoing. Respect all the consciousness and all that you're undergoing, the process that you're undergoing, because this leads to ecstasy for sure. This leads to your greatest and highest knowing. This leads to you existing within this life as the best possible version of your own self, which is beautiful. And that's exactly what you're doing. It's crazy because this may sound crazy, but a lot of people don't get to experience that. A lot of people don't get to experience what it means and what it feels like to be their true self in life. They're constantly undergoing this process of aligning to other people's needs, aligning to other people's dreams, constantly trying to work toward or for other people, and making all their choices based on other people's opinions and ideas and restrictions, limitations. So this is you actually tapping into the fullness of your life and living fearlessly. This is you living fearless in a way in which you're free. You're free to be you. You're free to create. You're free to command. And this is a very beautiful thing, a very beautiful place to be. But right now you're just kind of undergoing this death phase, and death is just like doing its thing. Death is really just doing its thing. I just see a lot of old beliefs within you, a lot of old hierarchies, a lot of old ideas, a lot of old solutions, relationships, hobbies, and things like that are just kind of dying, perishing, so that there can be more space for the beauty and the harmonizing of this king and queen, divine feminine, divine masculine. This is you again. I say this a lot, but this is you stepping into your highest mastery. Highest mastery. That is, if there's one thing that I want to leave you with from this reading, it's that you're stepping into your highest mastery. And it's actually beautiful that there's kind of some dullness here, because what is happening is a sharpening, a refining, It's a very beautiful energy that you have. You just hold a lot of ancient keys, a lot of keys to humanity, a lot of keys that will help all of us transcend this reality. So it's extremely important for you to get to where you're going, Group 3, and really understand that you are a key holder, you're a way shore. So it's really important for you to get to where you're going and understand that this is all just you processing, harmonizing, harmony coming into harmony, harmony coming into harmony for mastery. So beautiful energy. So let's get into your oracle cards. We don't have too many today. So we have our cosmic dancers, which is be fluid, which makes total sense. And I actually, for some reason, I want to read out of the book for that as well. So, which I haven't really for cosmic dancers, but I did for another reading, and it's coming back again. And of course you have be fluid with whale. So we have be fluid. In this great sea of dynamically shifting circumstances and events, now is the time to choose flow over fixity. Be flexible, fluid, and gracefully adaptable. You are reminded to love what is. This does not mean resigning yourself to being stuck where you are. You can find the blessings and perfection in your present moment while simultaneously choosing to create positive change according to your highest vision for yourself, your life, and any situation. Such is the wisdom of fluidity. Fighting against what is already happening will likely manifest misery by putting you in opposition with what is already true. Instead, enter into the receptive magnetic state of flowing surrender. After all, life is an endless dance of fluid, flowing continuity. Like water, be a shapeshifter and allow your form to change, freeze, melt, boil, evaporate, condense, or cascade according to what is needed. Access your highest vision now. See how challenges or undesirable situations are all a part of your divine design, ushering you toward your highest outcome and more glorious actualization in much the same way that all rivers flow endlessly and irresistibly toward the sea. To embody the wisdom of fluidity, move your body in wave-like undulations. I don't know why my brain just froze. First, lift and expand your heart area. And I'm not going to continue to read that, but anyway, you get it. Wisdom, accessing your highest vision, knowing and trusting who you are. And it's funny too because our cosmic dancers, our collective for the collective reading was surrender and trust. So same thing, Group 3, same thing for your reading. And your unicorn oracle for this week is friendship. Seek out your soul family. Surrender yourself with positive people. Spend more time socializing. And I feel like this is a beautiful thing too, just for harmony, harmonizing, and understanding that the whole world is also spirituality. It's also being around people and doing things that just align you with joy. It just will make this process a lot easier. Like we have with being fluid, is just respecting what currently is and what already is. I love how in this card, in the two cards, like the whale and the mermaid are doing the same thing, which is really interesting. And I love this. I love friendship because I feel like with respect to your friendship, it's like with respect to your relationships, it's like it's just bridging gaps. It's just bringing all into harmony. It truly, truly is. And you're doing a lot more, even unconsciously, for the people you're around than you even know. And in your last card, we have push to the surface. You may have become complacent. You might be stalling or in need of a new surge of energy. Become aware of the dynamics of your life. Exactly. So it's all the same thing. And I love how the whale energy is just all over your reading. You just hold a lot of power, a lot of ancient wisdom, and it's just really, really time for you to flow with it all. Flow with where it's taking you. Flow with where it's taking you. That's why I said you may have become complacent. You may have, and I feel like that's part of the reason why whale is in reverse here. It's time to flow where the water is taking you. Flow, flow, flow. And allow death to just do its thing throughout this process. So this is beautiful, beautiful energy. I really, really love how everything is really, really resonating and connecting within my own spirits. Just connecting to people and things in your life and your highest visioning that bring you joy, pushing to the surface, being fluid, flowing, cascading, melting, boiling, evaporating, whatever is needed from you at the time. Because really what you're experiencing is just a divine expressing itself through you, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. So yeah, let's go ahead and wrap up this reading, Group 3. So thank you. Thank you for coming to this reading. I really, really appreciate it so very much. If it did not resonate, that is okay. Take what did and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. So I really, really hope you enjoy my energy and the vibe of this reading, and I hope to see you next time, Group 3. Bye-bye. Hello, hello, Group 4. For all of our friends who chose the African turquoise, this will be your reading for this week. So, you have Snake. So, let's tap into... We don't have any blanks this week. Interesting. Wow, okay. So, let's tap into the energy of what Snake is bringing to this reading. Okay, so Group 4 is really, really important for you to understand that it is safe for you to transform while doing. It is this the tail end of our last reading, Group 3, which is funny. It is safe for you to transform in the midst of. It's safe for you to allow your creative ideas to transform. It's just safe for you to kind of experience the whole of things. The hatching, the creating, the mating, the connecting, whatever it is, like it's safe for you to experience all these different phases and different levels of what it means to transform, especially while you're transforming in such a large way while in a physical body. I feel like that's the most important thing for you to understand, is that you are undergoing an extremely large transformation or transition while still excuse me, while still in a human body. You understand what I'm saying? Like, they're saying what you're experiencing actually is death, which is funny because death came out in our last reading. What you're actually experiencing, you're actually having a death experience. And what you're actually doing is experiencing what that is like to evolve through that, to transcend that, and to come out to the other side anew, completely, a new being, a new resonance, a new frequency. And that's what you're doing. So it's safe for you to align. It's safe for you to respect what is undergoing for you. It's safe for you to look at it as such. They're saying stop calling yourself lazy, stop calling yourself all these names, stop the degrading. Stop the degrading. They're being extremely adamant about that. Like they don't have any smiles on their faces. They're just like, stop the degrading. Like the degrading of your current phase in life, in the current position that you're in, is just unnecessary and it's not helpful. They're like, stop the degrading because it's just not necessary. You should have more hope, more faith, and more respect and more trust in the process that you're undergoing, knowing that you are going to come out on the other side, on the other side of this on top. Because this is part of your design and what you decided to do within this lifetime, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. But it's safe to allow your creative ideas to change, to hatch and change and transition and to grow and to, it's just it's safe for you to live out your desires. And it's safe for you to live out your creative authority, your creative abilities. It's just safe for you to live and exist creatively. And I feel like I'm getting this like a womb mother energy, which makes total sense for the card that we're looking at. But it's just, I just feel so strongly in my heart that it's just safe for you to create. It is safe for you to be yourself. It is safe for you to express yourself. It is safe, 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 safe. Like you have come to a time in your life in which you have to understand that the opinions of others, their ideas of you, it's just not a threat to your own life. So it's like checking in where you're aligning. Are you aligning with their opinions? And if you are, that means that there's something inside of you that is resonating. There's something that they're saying that is true, that energetically, emotionally, mentally, some way, somehow you're agreeing to. Or agreeing with. So it's really important that you check in with those little pieces of yourself, but also, like, it's just for some reason, and it's so funny because we've been talking about harmony this entire reading, and the last power animal we get is card number 6, which makes total sense because 6 is a number all about harmony. So this is you coming into this true understanding of what it means to fully embody, the divine feminine and the divine masculine within one body, within one species. I don't know why they're saying that within one species, but like within one body. And this has nothing to do with gender orientation or any type of human label or labeling. This has everything to do with the energy, the understanding of creating physically, and the understanding of creating from the void non-physically, creating both physically and non-physically, linear and unlinear, tangible and intangible. That is all I'm saying here. That is all that is happening. So it's really, really important to understand the energy that you're harmonizing, and the phase that you're undergoing, because you're going to help a lot of people understand that phase as well. You're modeling. You're really, really modeling. And what you're going through right now is all becoming wisdom, because you're going to be able to tell people that in the future, when you're talking about your transitioning and things that you've undergone, people are going to learn from the road you took, and the mistakes you made, and the decisions you made. There's just a lot to take away from your experiences, that are going to feed a lot of people, that are going to be of service to a lot of people. All of your wisdom, all of your understanding, all the things that you're unlocking, all of the things that you work through with guilt and shame, judgment, etc., etc. All the deep, complex thoughts you had about these energies will be of service to you and will be a gift to others. Anything, it's just like your thoughts and the way in which you're transcending this paradigm is super important for you to understand and have respect for, because all of this energy is like it's momentum, and you'll be giving this to others actively, naturally, intuitively. And I also want to say you'll be making a fuck ton of money doing it. You're designed to live abundantly. You're designed to live in abundance consciousness. And what you're going to be helping people do is leading people out of lack consciousness into abundance consciousness. But first of all, you're doing that for yourself. You're doing that for yourself first. So it's really important for you to understand that all the energy that you're channeling and working with, have more respect for it, and really have respect for the energy that you're harmonizing, because you're not doing easy work. This is not easy work. And it's really hard for us to look at anything that isn't white knuckling as hard. You're just growing spiritually. How is that hard? First of all, spiritual growth is challenging. It is probably some of the most brutal work that you'll ever do. We always talk and put so much value in the body and the physical body and what it can do, but our mental and emotional and spiritual states, what it can actually achieve, is so much greater. So much greater. Especially when you get it aligned with the physical body, when everything comes into harmony, the physical body harmonized with the soul, with the spirit, with your mentality, with your emotions. When it's all harmonized and working and flowing, that is the beauty of being a full human being. And I feel like that's exactly what you are doing, and you're transcending these old constructs that kind of try to separate everything into boxes. So it's really, really important for you to understand the ways in which you're transforming, what you're going through, what you're experiencing, what you're gifting, because the same things right now that are a gift to you, like the same things that you're downloading, upgrading, that you're realizing, are a gift to everybody. It's a gift to everybody. So it's really, really important for you to hone in on that. Like, really take that for what it is and stop kind of avoiding that, because I feel like you just have a tendency to avoid that because you're like, oh, it's not real, because I should be doing this, I should be doing that, and you're just like, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing. And we have the Magician, of course, and then we have Five of Wands with Oppression, which makes total sense. And then we have Delusion in reverse with the Ten of Crystals. And then bottom deck, for some reason, I want to see this card as well. Oh, that's why we have the Fool. And then bottom deck, we have Preserver with Woman of Worlds, which would basically be the Queen of Pentacles. So, it's so funny because a friend of mine whom I love, who is also incredibly amazing and also experiencing a lot of these these energies that we're speaking of in this reading, she was on a panel, an art panel, and she said something that really, really stuck with me. And she was talking about how transformation isn't only about changing, but transformation is also about preserving. Transformation is also about taking care of, preserving something, keeping something alive, as in building a legacy, as in keeping it in line with what it needs to be, to exist. So it's really, really interesting how we have preserve it out here, and I feel that same energy for this reading as well. The reason why you're dying on the inside is because you are built to be a container for magic. You're built to be a container for transcending this reality, and that's exactly what you're doing, especially when we have oppression and the Ten of Crystals right here. We also have the Fool here because you're changing, you're allowing yourself to become a child again, you're allowing yourself to step into the beginner's mind, but you're just not, you're allowing yourself to start over, but not starting over from nothing. And I feel like that is why the Fool is in reverse, because you're not starting over from nothing, you're not starting over from scratch, you're not starting over like, oh, I don't know anything. What you're doing is taking all the energy you've already accumulated, and even all the energy outside of the veil, all the answers that you don't even have yet, the answers that only Spirit has, you know, and that can offer you. You're taking that and you're just harmonizing it in the most beautiful way. You're feeling safe in what you can control, and you're feeling safe in what Spirit is offering you, which is a beautiful, beautiful thing. You're really, really transcending this delusion of, I gotta be this way, or I have to be this part of society, or I have to do this for society. You're really, really, really transcending this oppressive state that we all live in. And because that's what you're supposed to be doing, and you're preserving the magic, you're finding the magic, and you're preserving it within your own body, and you're allowing anything that does not align with that magic to fall away. Why? Because you're here to restore proper reality, restore our reality to its natural state. That is what you're doing. The current paradigm that we exist within is not our natural state. It's all delusion. It is all illusion. It is all an illusion of separation. Lack consciousness is illusion of separation, and what you're doing is dissolving that within your own body, and you're going to help others dissolve that, and you're already helping others dissolve that within their own body. So it's really, really important for you to have more respect for the transition that you're undergoing and what you're currently experiencing, because it's tough. It's not easy. This is hard work. And anybody can say that working here or working there is hard work, but so is this. This is also hard work. Confronting yourself, dissolving your ego deaths, and challenging yourself, challenging your own beliefs, challenging your old identity, facing childhood trauma and grief, therapy, counseling, all this stuff is not easy work. It's probably the hardest work, and typically we use work and things like that to avoid this type of work. You know, we have so many distractions to actually avoid this level of getting to know ourselves, and this is exactly what you are doing. So it's really, really important for you to love yourself through this process and have more respect for what you're doing, because you're going to come out on the other side of this absolutely on freaking top. I can tell you that right now. It's like amazing, the energy that's bursting through my body when I just feel into you on the other side of this. You are exactly where you need to be, and you're doing exactly what it is you need to be doing. You're doing exactly what it is you need to be doing, preserving the magic and bringing up, resurrecting the magic of unity, resurrecting the magic of harmony, resurrecting the magic of oneness, of togetherness, of our collective consciousness, and transcending any illusions of separation. So this is a beautiful, beautiful energy. There's just like Spirit has everything aligned for you. Your soul mission is so beautiful. You're exactly where you need to be. Spirit has every single component aligned for you in order for you to understand what it is that you're harmonizing and to really have a true understanding, because this is about building wisdom. This is about what you're offering. This is the way in which Spirit wants to work through you, and this is the way in which you will be in service to this life. So I feel so strongly like, please watch the collective message too if you did not, because it's a lot about facing your fears, and I feel like this is exactly what you're doing, is you're facing your fears because you're dissolving so much, and you're facing your fears of your own self, and what you truly know to be true, what you're feeling, everything. So this is a beautiful, beautiful feeling that I just feel from this reading. I just feel really good about it. You know, I just feel really, really good about this reading in the most amazing way. It's just like you're giving yourself a second chance. You're giving yourself a do-over, but in the highest way, so that you can exist in this lifetime in your highest expression, which is a beautiful thing. You know, and it's exactly what you need to be doing. You know, this is evolution. This is you, you know, leading the way. And it's important for you to step up and just accept that you are, in essence, a chosen one, or you are someone who has, your soul has decided to embody being a human being so that it can move forward, you know, consciousness. It's either you decide to follow the lead or to be the leader, you know. And we all have different lifetimes in which we're the follower or the leader. It doesn't matter. It's just in this lifetime you have chosen to help humanity transcend lack consciousness and transcend the illusion of separation, and which transcends oppression. So kudos to what you're doing. Kudos. This is one of those readings where it's just like, take a moment, give yourself a pat on the back, clap for yourself, celebrate yourself, because you're just doing a lot. You're doing a lot of moving, a lot of preserving, a lot of transforming, a lot of transitioning, which is really, really difficult, and a lot of people avoid doing. So, which is okay. So really, really honing in and respecting what you're doing is really important. Respect was all over this reading too. Like, respect. And know that, you know, fear is just not the end all be all. Fear is always just a gateway, and it's something that you get through. You know, you don't go over, under, side with fear. You just get through it. And that is exactly what you have been doing. Take your life, like, look at your past and then the decisions that you made, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. This is a really beautiful energy, and I really, really love this. So let's get into your oracle cards. So we have Cosmic Dancers. We have Out of the Process, of course, like I'm saying. Have more respect for the process that you're undergoing. It makes total sense, you know. This is just a phase, a portion of your life. This is not the end. And then we also have Polarity. Of course we have Polarity. Integrate your shadow side. There can be no light without dark. Understand the laws of polarity. That's exactly what you are doing. That's exactly what you're doing. And then we also have Inner Desires. Exactly, like I'm saying. Set some intentions. You're entering a phase of plenty or may have a sudden windfall. Goals are within your grasp. Of course. Because all you're doing is you're honoring and understanding this process and how important it is. You're harmonizing, you're bridging the polarities. You're really, really understanding yourself at the absolute greatest depth. And it's really, really important for the world to see that. So this is what I'm saying too. Trust in your desires, trust in what you need, trust in what you know that you need, trust in what you know is coming into your life, as in abundance, as in clarity, as in anything that you need, because it is coming, and it's just unfolding right in front of you. What you're doing is just honoring the process of this transmuting, transforming, and the bridging of the polarities. You're preserving the magic of the world while releasing all that no longer serves, because we're stepping into a higher level of awareness, and that is why we're bridging that polarity. That's why it's so important for you to undergo the process that you are undergoing. So, ooh, group 4. This is a beautiful reading. I'm really, really excited about it. Like, really, really excited. So, let's go ahead and wrap up this reading. So, I really, really hope you enjoyed it. I really, really hope you did. As always, if you do not, that is okay. Take what resonated and the rest will fall away. You're not obligated to hold on to anything that is not yours. So I really hope you enjoy the energy and the vibe of this reading. And I, my friend, will see you next time, Group 4. Bye-bye.